Thank you for joining us today. So, today we are on the 13th edition of the Bukit Vista Community Talk, and I have a very special guest with us today. Her name is Gill Wilson, and she's had a amazing career in interior design in Bali for quite some time. Jill has been, I think, very active in interior design ever since I've been in Bali, and that's at least 15 years now. Um, I would like to welcome Jill to the discussion. So the objective, once again, for having the BBC talk is to inspire delight. We are building a trusted community where property owners can discover great talent, and we invite industry professionals with proven track records and established businesses in the region to be our guests. And I, as the moderator, will ask questions on behalf of our owners so that we can understand a little bit more about some of the special talent that we have here in Bali. So the format is, as always, very simple. We'll introduce myself and our guest, and then we will have a discussion with Gill Wilson about her interior design services and take a look at her portfolio. And then we'll finish with some closing statements. And just to introduce myself, most people who probably watch this have already seen me before, but my name is Jing. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Bukit Vista. Uh, I studied electrical engineering once upon a time at Berkeley in 2002. Previously, I worked at Airbnb and also Alman Resorts. And as a fun fact, once upon a time I danced in a Bollywood movie with Hrithik Roshan and Aishwarya Rai. So the mission and vision are the mission of Bukit Vista is to inspire delight through hospitality innovations that positively transform our guest partners and employees. And the purpose of having these community talks is to inspire delight for property owners who want to transform themselves or their properties through getting to know more trusted members of the community. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Jill Wilson, and and maybe we can get to know you a little bit better, Jill. Can you tell us a little bit more about like your time and how long you've been doing interior design and
Yeah, sure.
your background?
Yeah, so I started doing it. I've been living in different countries, and I started really getting involved when I lived in India, New Delhi. The apartment we actually moved into, I didn't like the interiors, so I started going to furniture farms and sourcing antiques, and then store them. And slowly I built a reputation, and I started selling them from the house I was living in. So that got me really interested in interior design. And also, having lived in different hotels, I've always been inspired by the different looks and different styles. So we traveled around a fair bit. From India, we went to Japan and Malaysia,
Mhm.
and then eventually we moved back to Bali. And with with everyone in Bali being so creative, I found that it was great that I could custom design something and have it made here. So that's really inspired me to work with the local people and with people outside
It's amazing.
by creating spaces for people where what my favorite is to combine antiques with. So, yeah, and my company's been going for about 14 years now.
Oh my
14
goodness!
years.
Wow. Okay, so that's an amazing track record. What sort of brought you on your travels all across the world, Jill?
So my ex-husband was managing different hotels.
I
So
say,
with the Hyatt and then with the Ritz-Carlton. So through that, we travelled from. We lived in Jakarta, then we moved to Australia,
mhm,
then to India, Japan, then Malaysia, and finally we got to Bali, and
amazing.
that was me.
Okay,
Yeah,
fantastic.
fell in love with
Was there any particular place in your memory that sort of spoke and inspired you more to pursue this pathway in interior design, or is it more eclectic? Like each place inspires a different part of you.
I think I think each country has their own has their own different style. I would say India is very the antiques are very colourful, and I mean I think every culture has got its own different style. So
Definitely.
I think, different countries I've lived in, I've been inspired by, by their antique main and their artwork.
Hmm. Got it. Understood.
So
And
yeah,
in that dimension, would you say that, like, is there in any one particular place that feels a little bit more like home than any of the others?
yeah, well, definitely Bali. I've been living
Mm.
here for 18 years now.
Wow.
And
Okay.
kind of arrived and I felt like I was at home straight away. So, I was finally able to start my own company, whereas before I couldn't because I was always traveling.
Got it. Got it. Okay. Very
So, I actually put, yeah,
excellent. Okay, thank you very much, Jill, for the very insightful and it sounds like a very cosmopolitan lifestyle to be traveling in the luxury hotel circuit and going to India, Japan, and Bali. So maybe like a little bit more about the sort of the history of your company, like sort of you told us that earlier that once you got to Bali, you were able to settle down and start this. What sort of was the journey of your company and the journey of the progression of that story?
so I've always loved, as I described, through living in hotels and living in different accommodation, I got very interested in interior design. And when I lived in Japan,
Hmm.
I was living where there were no really any expats. So I actually did an interior design course, a correspondence one.
Okay,
And so I got my certificate, and it's just something I've always been passionate about. So I set it up, and started off meeting people. We've been doing villas and hotels, and building up slowly over the years. So I've got a fantastic team, and basically we do anything from just a curtain up to the complete design and 3D layouts, technical drawings for a whole hotel.
okay,
So anything from small to large, we
got it.
can look after everyone. Yeah.
I'm kind of curious about both ends of that spectrum because, like you just said, it seems like there's a few orders of magnitude between a curtain and a hotel. Do is it when you mention like something like a curtain, is it mean like you're focusing on a bespoke piece of like a particular, like whether it's a table or a curtain or something, to just design that one thing really well, and then you're also thinking about, like, I guess how to strategically design spaces within large spaces. Is that what the sort of like the range of skills would be for an interior design firm like Gill Wilson?
Basically, we've got the setup. So say if someone just moves to Bali and they've been traveling, they have their own furniture and everything,
Yeah,
and they actually want a design service. They just want some curtains, whatever. We'll come over with the swatches and help them choose what curtains they want.
got it.
And then you get people, especially a lot of expats who have lived in Hong Kong or they're in Singapore,
Hmm.
and they've bought property in Bali or somewhere else, and they want full service. So normally with that, we'll get the AutoCAD, and then we can look at the AutoCAD, and basically we can function with them, even though they're in another country. We'll sort of do the layout, and then we do the 3D technical drawings, and we send this back and forth.
Understood.
And basically, what they get is exactly like the photo. The final product is exactly the same.
So
Then we make sure that.
fantastic. We spoke just earlier this morning with another interior design firm, and I'm actually quite astonished at like how far 3D rendering technology can be, and how that is just such a, I think, an awesome way to communicate with clients so that the expectations can actually be reached. Okay, this is great. So I'll jump into kind of like I guess a look at some of the collections that I see here on the screen. Um,
Yeah.
and maybe I love this. It looks like there's a mastodon skull in in this particular set. Can you tell us a little bit about maybe the range of projects that you've worked on in the course of the 15 years of your company?
Yeah. So what we really love to do is actually do something really. I mean, for me, my passion is to create something that no one else has got. So, as you could probably see in top photo, that is actually behind it's above rappel, and then you slide them back, and behind that there's actually a TV.
Oh wow.
And then we make custom made headboards. So I've tried and find some design and inspiration. So as you can probably see on the right hand one, that is like a sort of a flower with
Hmm.
mirror behind. So I
Definitely.
like to do. So I really want like when you walk into a bedroom, it really I want the headboard to be a piece of art.
Hmm. Okay. I'm gonna do this actually for a
Like a
minute.
statement because I.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Please continue.
Oh, that's okay. So same with I like wardrobes to be a piece of art. So it's not just a wardrobe that's boring and functional. It's actually something of beauty, or even getting, like making bathtubs with, so they have a backing light. So when you turn it on, you can actually see through the bath. So actually creating something that's unique to the owner,
Hmm.
rather than just something that you can find everywhere.
I see. And a lot of these designs, I think, are so. I think they're very luxurious. They have like such rich textures. You're playing with so many different materials. Um, like every surface has, I think, been considered. I just went to your website, Miss Jill Wilson, and I was looking at. Is there any particular project that you maybe want to take us on a deep dive through and explain more about? I see there's one here at the Elephant Park Resort Villa. There's maybe another one, Villa Unsur. There's Murtasari Villa, Vedas Villa. Is there any particular one that you want to showcase?
Well, of course, the elephant park was
Okay.
wonderful to do because that's like going on a safari. You actually have the elephants there and everything. So the theme was to actually. So if you look at the bed, the actual legs are
Mhm.
elephant's feet. So we
Oh.
got a lot of inspiration. So we really wanted that safari feel with the wicker, and again, the runners are all custom made. So you've got the three elephants on there. Um, so it's a very sort of tranquil setting, but very, very high end, very luxurious with all the elephants around you. So you've got, and also the owner, Nigel Mason, had a lot of old prints that he had collected.
Yep.
So that was wonderful. That also inspired the look.
I see. I know. Yes, the owner of the Elephant Safari Park, Nigel. He's a brand of chocolates now. I think too as
Yeah.
well. Actually. Okay. Very cool. Very cool.
He's got a big chocolate factory, so he's got a lot of fingers and a lot of pies. Yeah, very
I've seen that. I've
enterprising.
seen that. Yeah. Very, very.
Yeah,
That's another person who probably should be on this podcast too, as well. Somebody who has deep established business roots here in Bali.
yeah,
Wow. Okay. Beautiful. Is there? Well, I guess
yeah.
I'll start. I'll go ahead and start the topics now. Um, is there anything that you'd like to tell us about your work? And I think we covered a bit of your philosophy in terms of its approach to design. And is there like anything that you would like to tell us about how your work positively impacts a property owner in terms of value, relationship, and legacy? And the reason we've set
Yeah,
that up is to just. Oh, go ahead, Mrs. Jill.
oh no, sorry. I was saying, basically, we work for approaches, and obviously you have people who have got very high end villas, and then you have people in the middle, and then the lower. So we like to cater for everyone.
Yes.
So we really like the cost planning, the budget or cost. It really depends on the size of the property and the scope of work.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, we can do anything from project to a big project.
Okay.
And it doesn't. You can do a villa beautifully, and find unusual artifacts and frame them up, and you can even find like an old window and turn that into a coffee table by putting glass on it and legs. And so yeah, I think it's also trying to find those few unique pieces to really create something amazing.
Hmm. And in terms of, let's say, okay, that I can see from a value point of view. In terms of relationships, um, I, I probably don't have to ask you. You've been here for such a long time. Like what is it about, let's say, a sort of a client relationship with you that you think will be unique as compared to maybe a different interior designer?
So sorry, can you repeat that?
Sure,
Sorry.
absolutely, Jill. So, in terms of your relationships with clients, is there any particular dimension or any particular quality of the relationships that you find to be unique or that you're particularly proud of?
Oh, you mean projects that I've done?
Well, client relationships. Like sometimes
Sorry.
it's not just the project itself, but it's like the ability to really kind of forge a lasting or a meaningful
Yeah,
relationship with the client. Yeah.
I yeah, I find that most people that I've worked with, like, have been amazing clients, and
Mhm.
I've always had a good relationship with them. Um, we had a client who um, was living in Bangalore in India, so we did made a lot of stuff for her and shipped it all over.
Wow.
She's actually she plays very well known for playing a sitar, sitar in India.
Okay.
And then now they bought a place in Texas, so we've just done a huge container for their property over there.
Wow.
So you do build up good rapport and good relationship with people. Yeah, that's interesting.
Okay, that's actually pretty interesting because essentially you can globalize your company just by keeping those relationships with a single client, and as they move from place to place, as like in yourself, your work is now getting a, I guess, a sort of an international exposure. Then that's very interesting. And in terms of client legacy, here at Bukit Vista, a lot
Yeah,
of
I
clients.
mean the good
Oh, go
thing
ahead.
about Bali is you can.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, like, in Bali, we're very lucky. Like, you can actually custom make furniture. So if you have something that you really like the look of, that might be 30,000 US dollars in the States, we can make it here in Bali, for a fraction of that cost,
Wow.
and then just ship it over to you.
Hmm.
So anything, we can literally make anything, like, from beautiful cabinets to sofas to coffee tables to dining room tables, for a fraction of the cost here in Bali,
Definitely.
and then just ship them over. So we do quite a lot of that worldwide.
Okay. And the last component of the question is about client
Yeah.
legacy. Is there any particular like clients that have shared what sort of legacy they want? In particular, what we've seen, some clients are concerned about like leaving a good cultural footprint, right? Like they want the local people to sort of feel good about having their imprint there on the neighborhood. Other clients have legacies more related to maybe personal achievement or a celebration of their hobby or their achievements in business or life. And other clients might have concerns about legacy in terms of environmental or sustainability practices. Have you experienced any of these type of legacy building moments? And if you have, please, would you be able to tell us a story or something about that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely here in Bali, it's very, as you know yourself, it's a very spiritual community. So, when you build a property here, it's very, it very much depends. Like, so every property has to have a temple, and they're very particular about where the temple should be. They try and find the spiritual place where it should be, and then they have the temple there. And then normally, every property that's newly built then has a ceremony, which is a ceremony to get rid of any bad spirits, and that is very, very important for the locals and the local banjar. Um, and I think also by employing people from the local banjars around you, that also keeps a very good relationship with the community. Yeah, so it's a very spiritual place, and the people, the Balinese that work in your villa or in your property, they like to have that temple to go to, and they put out offerings like up to 3 or 4 times a day.
Definitely, definitely.
So yeah, so
Okay,
that's probably the one.
excellent.
Yeah.
All right,
It's most
and
important.
with that, I think we can move on to our second topic. Is in the span of your career, Jill, what projects do you really feel like demonstrate your credibility and also your talent?
I think probably on a personal note, I've actually built 7 villas myself. So each villa that I've moved into that's my own, um, I think through my antiques and my artwork and the way I've designed it, for me that probably expresses the most because it's my home, and I can control the budget, and so I can spend whatever I want,
Got it.
and choose the best of the best, and I've only got myself for.
Well,
Whereas, but I've enjoyed working on so many different projects. I mean, it really depends. Like, where if the villa's by the ocean, then I want to bring that ocean feel into it,
mhm,
through fabrics and textures and artwork. Get a city apartment, so again, that's a completely different feel.
mhm.
That might be more sleek, and um, so yeah, different feelings. For different places.
Understood. Is there any one project that you think is, let's say, the proudest moment, or the one thing that sort of brought together all your talents together in the most meaningful way for yourself?
I think there've just been so many. We've just done so many projects over the last 14, 15 years that I think every single one. And actually the one thing is like most villas that we've done, even some from 14 years ago, have
Mhm.
not reupholstered their sofas. So I think sometimes it's such a good job that we put ourselves out of a job because they never come back.
That's the thing with timeless.
People's houses are still perfect, and I'm like, oh, hoping to get some more work, and I go back and I look and oh, that still is immaculate. So yeah, so I suppose that's one thing we're proud. Yeah,
Well, when you design a timeless design,
especially
you can
during
only
these
do it
times. It's
once,
like, come on,
and it could be a good thing too as
sorry.
well. When you design a timeless design, you only have to design it once, but it could also be a good thing. It's more sustainable this way. So you're not you're not using a lot of material to redo design. It's almost like the opposite of the fast fashion trends that we're seeing now, where somebody comes out with a design and then a week later a new design replaces it. Once you have something that, let's say, can stand up to the test of time, it stands there. Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
Cool.
the, the good thing with us is like, when we design something for the client,
Yep.
it just goes straight from our work direct to the home. So no
Mm,
one can copy it unless the client wants to copy it. So basically, they're getting a unique piece that no one else has got and
got it.
cannot be copied.
And okay, and
Yeah.
what how I'm actually kind of curious about that, to delve into a little bit more. How do clients feel about that when they know that they're getting a unique piece that cannot be copied?
They're thrilled about it because it makes them feel like their villa is more special. That it's
Mm,
not something that you see and that can be copied. So I think for them, they feel like they're getting a piece of art.
okay. Uh,
Something unique.
Okay, very cool, very cool. And let's go into the next question, which is,
Yeah.
in your career history, is there any client that you prefer to have over others, and who is, would you say, the most ideal client for Gill Wilson? Hello, Jill. Hello, hello, Jill. Are you there? Hello, Jill. Let's see. Okay, let me double check. Hello, Jill. Haven't had this happen yet before. Looks like maybe the connection with Jill has been lost for a moment. We'll just give her a moment to kind of come back and get back into the interview again. But we had stopped at the question of who is the right type of client for your services. Okay. Um, oh yes, Maria. Would we be able to ping Jill really quickly on WhatsApp, see if she's still on the line? Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Britt. Okay. Okay, a good time to take a power bank charge to my keyboard. Okay. Hello, Jill. Earth to Jill. Jill. Hmm. Not sure what we're gonna do now. I guess we've had. I feel like a television broadcaster now. Like the show must go on, but I'm not sure how the show will go on if the main interviewer isn't there. Let's go over to Maria. Maria, any updates on Jill's whereabouts?
She's still typing, sir.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
she said that everything cut out.
Really? Okay. That's gonna be interesting then. Okay. Oh, maybe this is her trying to log back in. Okay, give her a second. This is Jack and Jill. Okay. Hello, Jill. Welcome back. Hi, Jill. Hey, how's it going there?
Hi.
Okay, sorry. I think we lost you there for a second. Can you hear us okay now?
I lost you there.
Yep. I see you back again. So let's.
Hello?
Yep. Hi, Jill.
I've internet.
Okay. Great. I think if we're good, then we're ready to continue. So the next topic is actually who do you think is the right type of client for your services? Like what clients do you get along with best?
I mean, basically, every client is a good client. I mean, for us that we've worked with, across the board. So we work with hotels, with restaurants, with. I think probably we tend to do more private villas.
Hmm.
We tend to do private villas on the whole,
Okay.
but
Fantastic.
every client is a good client.
Okay. Are there any clients that or what sort of expectations maybe should a client come with if they want to, let's say, have for both of you, if you guys want to have the most positive experience, do you have any sort of expectations? Should the client like have a I won't put any words there, but like is there any type of, let's say, expectations that work better than others?
I would say it's once they've decided where they're building their house, it's quite nice if they have a sort of a vision of what they're wanting. That they can describe whether they want a modern look or more of a beach look. So yeah, I mean, sometimes it's nice if they've got that vision,
Okay,
but if not, then we help create that vision for them.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, sounds good. And then let's go over to the final question, which is in the simplest way possible, how would you actually describe how you charge for your services? Now, I understand um, everyone's a little bit different, and of course, every project is going to be a little bit different. But if an owner were
Yeah.
to sort of shop at Gill Wilson and they wanted to be able to, let's say, compare and evaluate, what do you have like a unit cost or a metric where they can go, okay, that's a number I can understand.
Yeah, I mean, basically, as I said, it depends on the scope of the work, but um, it can be anything from maybe 20 million, for a two-bedroom villa upwards. It just depends what the expectancy is of the owner and what they require. But our service provides everything from, as I said, we do the 3Ds. If they want the full service,
Hmm.
then we just charge a design fee. That includes everything: site visits, dealing with the architects, doing lighting planning. So we cover like everything.
Okay. Is there a particular rate or sort of a cost per square meter or a billable per hour that you sort of just ballpark range can offer so that it's just so that like if I'm a property owner, I'm looking at five different interior designers and they all tell me like, everything's flexible. It becomes really hard to really narrow it down and to just kind of understand. Is there any sort of
As Yeah, what we normally do is we have a look at the AutoCAD drawings,
okay.
and also it all depends if you're building something from scratch or you're taking an existing building and knocking down walls. But basically, like say if you had a four-bedroom villa and you wanted the design for all of it done from scratch with 3D. Normally, we say to them, okay, we'll do two 3Ds. Say we'll do the living, dining, and then we can do the master bedroom. And then if they want more, then we just charge a bit extra for additional 3D. But a ballpark figure, say if you were doing a four-bedroom villa with swimming pool and everything, it could be around 50 to 60 million.
Okay, got
The
it.
design fee includes for everything, yeah, which is very reasonable.
Okay, that does actually sound within the right ballpark, actually. So, okay,
Yeah.
and just to also understand, like in terms of comparing apples with apples, what sort of is the input that a client gives you, and what is the output? Meaning, like since there is a bit of range in the user journey, meaning that they can come to you just to get a swatch on a curtain, or they can come to you with like, here's an empty lobby in a hotel. Can you design like a lobby for me? What sort of goes into the client input, and what is essentially your output? Is it like a bill of quantity and a design plan, and then they bring that over to like a contract manufacturer and have that built, or
So,
is it
no, we
something else?
we actually source them. So if someone wants the whole bell and whistles, if you like, the whole complete design package,
Yeah.
then we will actually, um, you know, we will actually say exactly, which sofa design it is. We'll do all the technical drawings. Then we will provide a quote, but they also have the technical drawings. So if they want to get another quote for it, they can.
Okay, got it.
There's often like two or three quotes. So we'll quote for it as well.
I see.
And normally they go to us because we've done the journey with them and the process, and we know what the final concept and look should be.
Okay.
Yeah, so we produce everything.
Got it. Got it. Okay, that's fantastic. Then that pretty much is a wrap. Final question is: Do you have any like final thoughts or any lasting impressions you want to leave a potential uh, client with, like somebody who's trying to understand Jill Wilson? How would you want to maybe summarize your story?
Yeah, I mean, we're very approachable. Our prices are very fair. We really try and create something that's unique and beautiful at a very reasonable price.
Okay.
Always do a free consultation. So if anyone calls us, we come out to the villa and do a free consultation, and I'll give my advice, and then we go from there.
Okay. Okay. All right. Then that sounds like a wrap. Then. So this is Gill Wilson, with her 15-year-old interior design company based in Bali. Also, Gill Wilson Interiors. And thank you very much today for coming to the Bukit Vista Community Talk. And we'd like to welcome you to our trusted community.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Okay.